Pisces, welcome to your June 2018 general tarot reading. I'm Leonie Nicole Black. Thank you for choosing to spend some time with me. So, I'm kind of like, I'm excited to do your reading. I feel like I haven't spoken to you guys in a little while and I'm ready to kind of check in, see how you're doing. A few notices. Obviously it's a general reading. I'm just picking up on the general energy of Pisces. So if you want specific messages about what's going on with you in your very personal life, and you can get an individual reading from me at nicoleblack.com/services, link in description box. Please also follow me on Instagram as Leonie Nicole Black, and I really appreciate the likes, the shares, the subscribes, the comments, and I feel like Pisces, a lot of you are really trying to do the work as you watch my videos, so I really appreciate that too. I love serving you, I love helping you grow. Okay, so right down to your messages. Listen, all right, let me show you your cards. I asked Spirit how you're showing up in June, and what did you get? 10 of Swords and the Death card immediately. I was like, Pisces! I was like, what's happening? But then your third card, because they came out together, and I turned your third card over and it was the Fool, and I was like, well, thank goodness. Like, because I was like, Pisces, we were on the roll, we were doing better, right? You were healing. Last month, your reading was beautiful, really sweet. I talked about, you know, opening up to love. I think I called it make love. Like, it was really good. And then I was like, why on earth do you have 10 of Swords and the Death card? But with the Fool, it's brilliant. You know, it's saying that internally you are ready to cut away the BS. You know, you're like, things have to end. And you're recognizing that they're not just external things, Pisces. You're recognizing that a lot of what needs to end is a version of yourself that you've been, how you've been living, how you've been thinking, how you've been engaging in relationships. You're like, I've got to change. And so you have slayed the inner dragon. You have like, I don't mean to trigger anyone with this particular phrase, apologies if I do, but you have committed suicide, so to speak. You have gone through a death process. You cleared away what needs to end, and you open it, or are in the process of opening up to something new and to a rebirth and opening up to your world. It's like coming out of a cave, and you know, like if you watch any kind of programs where someone's been underground a lot or in darkness and they come out into the light and they can barely see, the light is happening with you internally. It's like you finally understood you as the cause of your problems. You finally identified the shadow, the beast within, the part of you that needed to die, and you have used the energy of the Death card to clear that away. And the Full energy now is you coming out and it being like you've seen life for the first time. You know, it's like brilliant, bright colors, and like, whew, I didn't know I could feel this way. I didn't know I could have this healthier perspective. I didn't know I could have these career opportunities. I didn't know I could relate and have emotions and relationships with people on this level. So this is really great. So Pisces, based on that, based on this kind of like 10 being the completion and 0 being the beginning point again, the cycle that you're passing through, I asked what's the context? Well, you've got 3 cards in reverse and 1 upright. The first card being the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, you've seen this card a lot, Pisces. I've been talking to you about this for months. So this is saying, Pisces, that you're finally recognizing the imbalances in the investment, the boundary issues you have where energy is not flowing in a replenishable way. So it's like, Pisces, you're recognizing either you give until you're impoverished within, or you take until your relationships are impoverished. And you may even swing between those two things, and it may even be that you're both of these things, and that in some relationships or in some dynamics you give, and in others you take, and everything's been out of whack. But you've recognized that now, and that's what the part of yourself that you're like, I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to be more self-sustained. I want my relationships to be self-sustained. I want my business practices to be self-sustained. I want my family to be self-sustained. And as you're cutting away those old dynamics, those old patterns of relating, you've got the 2 of Wands here. Capricorn got this card too. You are now looking out and being like, now that I see clearly, now that I am understanding, you know, my patterns, who I am, what I want, like, what can I do? How can I expand? How can I rebuild? You've got the Fool card here. So you're like, what can I create? You know, how do I feel like you cleared the deck and gone, like you pushed everything away and started from the beginning, but you seem hopeful still. You don't seem resentful about it. You don't seem like you've lost your resources either. I think you know, Pisces, that you are your ultimate resource, and so you're prepared to rebuild. And I see you rebuilding from a strong position. Also with this card, it's like wrapping things up still. So with the Death and the Ten of Swords with the Fool, I feel like you're still closing out this cycle. I feel like some of these patterns are so deeply ingrained in you. This is why it's a message that's lingering for months across your readings, because it isn't something that you could just one day go, oh, I get it, and tomorrow or over a week put it in place. You're doing the deep soul work to move towards that. So it's saying here that, yeah, you are still, maybe still in relationships, maybe still in situations like still in a career, still in financial debt, still in certain things that are making you feel a little restricted, but you see your way out. You see a potential vision you can move towards, and now you're being practical about it. I feel with this card, you've got the Knight of Swords in reverse here, and I feel with the Knight of Swords in reverse, Pisces, that it was more that who you are, your passions, how you were showing up in the world. You can be a very expressive kind of energy, very expressive energy, but I feel like you weren't being well received, and that almost like your eagerness was intimidating to people, or literally just, whether it was intimidation or not, they just weren't feeling that amount of energy from you. You know, look at the swiftness, the passion, they're like coming hard, coming fast at something. And it's like people in your world were like, yeah, slow your roll, pump your brakes. And I think you felt a little sensitive about this because this is your natural way. And you were like, well, I'm all in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm feeling everything, I'm thinking everything, I'm sensory, I'm empathic, I'm like, I want to go, I got ideas, I got visions, and your energy is very present, you know? You can be intense in a different way to Scorpio. Even to Cancer, because Cancer's not really intense, to be honest. Cancer can be overwhelming. Like, yeah, Cancer can like project emotions a lot and not do enough like to hold space. Scorpio can be deeply intense and magnetic, really pull people into them. But your intensity is actually, rather than an inner intensity, something that that pulls inward, like Scorpio, it's more like it bursts outward. That's your projectile in that way. And you've been in environments where people have not been feeling you like that. So it's like almost like you're kind of trying to move away from those environments where you're not accepted, because I see the Knight of Cups in reverse, and this could be romance because it is the Knight of Cups. I see him as like, you know, Prince Charming energy. I don't even mean that in a gendered way. I just mean like the energy of like people courting you and, you know, coming after you, doing a little play, a little romance. So that could say that you've not really had adequate play romantic energy in your life right now. And you wouldn't. If you're going for a death and a rebirth, it's not the time like for flowers and dating and fun. Like, it's just not that. You know, it's not... Nobody's like on their deathbed or really sick and is like, can I go on Tinder? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe some people are, but I think that's crazy. So it's not really the right timing for that. But also I see this just as your energy. You are a water sign. You are the cup carrier. And I don't mean that as an Aquarius being the water bearer. I mean that you're the cup carrier, you're the sign that kind of, you know, carries the emotions. And, sorry, excuse me. And with the Knight of Cups here in reverse, it's like you haven't been able to go out and give of who you are and really show and attract. And, you know, you haven't been able to be in that playful, flirtatious energy. Flirtatious in any way, just in terms of zest for life. And that's been a blessing to you, actually, Pisces, because it's been time for you to establish a new world for yourself. Because your soul lessons for June... The Chariot is fantastic. It means not only can you establish something new, you can create a new beginning, but you can really find momentum and you can really move towards it. And you can do this on your own, Pisces. You are the charioteer. You're the only person in this chariot. You in spirit. You're not dependent on others anymore. There's no more of this Six of Pentacles energy of like impoverishment or duty, responsibility. There is potential now for you to really move ahead single-mindedly, but you must integrate the aspects of yourself. And that's what you're learning to do right now. With the two Sphinx down here, the different polar opposite elements in you. That's what you're integrating at the moment, Pisces, and you must continue to do that, because your next card is the King of Wands. The King of Wands here is talking about your ability to externally manifest and really establish and create your vision here in the Two of Wands. It's like once you're clear on this, the King of Wands is here to set light to that dream, to burn it, to bring it into place, to increase the passion, the vitality, to put energy about behind it and to establish it. And the Queen of Swords is about you finding clarity now, not being so, you know, you're ruled by Neptune, so there can be illusions, there can be things that you don't see, there can be a certain amount of escapism and dreaminess. But with the Queen of Swords, Libra energy, you're learning to see through the illusions. You're learning to find clarity, particularly about yourself and who you are. And therefore, as you cultivate that clarity in your judgments about other people. And this is your soul lesson. Your soul lesson for June is, yes, you can move forward now. You can, Pisces. The doors are opening. You can establish what you want to create if you're clear on that vision, and that you're being supported to find clarity about what's inside you and also what is in others. Sorry. You can find clarity now. I'm really breathing through your reading, but it's really simple. What's your advice, Pisces? The reading was really clear. As soon as I pulled your cards, I really understood. You're at a critical moment. You've got the Judgment card here. Everything's happening in your life for a reason. You've been brought to a stopping point, a pausing point. A bell has been rung. You're being called to attention. Spirit's trying to get your attention. It's a turning point. It's look, hear, stop, listen. I'm speaking. There is a different path for you. You can elevate. You know, in the spiritual community, they talk about timeline collapsing and shifting. I mean, it's spiritual jargon and it can sound quite complex to people, but what it really means is choosing a higher pathway. So let's say you're on a particular, think of it as a promotion, okay? Think of it in those terms. You could be on a particular track, a particular pathway. You've been working at, you know, internship level for a long time, and now that the spirit is saying there's an opportunity for you to apply for a job with better responsibility, better more responsibility and better rewards and better remuneration, and, you know, going towards your dreams. Or you can continue to work as an intern for the next 10 years. So the bell is being rung, and it's like, Pisces, do you want to create something else? Do you want to go to the next level? Because you can. But the path there, I love it. The reasons I've been doing today, just a Capricorn, and there's a lot of your opposing sign is showing up, because the path to it is the Virgo energy. And I have been like a good teacher for you, I think. I have been a good teacher to you. And the Hermit is the Virgo card, and it's saying to you the way to navigate the job application at the moment, to get your promotion, the timeline shifting you're looking for, to open up to a better, brighter world, is the Hermit card. It's Virgo energy. And it isn't Virgo in terms of like just be fussy or practical, a perfectionist. It's actually doing Virgo's soul purpose, which is to dig deep and go within. You see, this process that you're doing now, death to rebirth, is all internal. It's all internal, and it's requiring you to shine a light on your shadow so that you can see what needs to die within. Okay, that's what Virgo's here to do, really. To dig deep and to find its way through the internal darkness and bring light to it, and then bring that light to others. So you need to do Hermit right now, Pisces. It isn't really the time to be out here. It's the time to be going within, refining, understanding, cutting away, developing a new dream and a new vision. Okay, and recognizing that it is critical. You're at a pivotal moment. You could go for a door that opens a whole new world to you, or you could go for a door that's more of the same. And your only sense of how to get clarity on how to do that, the Libra energy, is through Virgo. It's through digging deep right now. It's for assessing yourself. For some of you need to get counseling and therapy. Others of you need to spend more time in meditation, silence in the mind, getting still, allowing things to come up through the soul for you. Others of you need to read. You need to read books. You need to educate yourself spiritually. Some of you, it's diet. You need to cut out the poisons in your diet, whether it's alcohol, whether you're smoking, whether you're eating a lot of fast food. You know, everything is fine. Not going to say everything, but I do believe like moderation's cool, right? But it's just like right now, So when you're doing Hermit, there's sacrifice involved in this. Virgo can tell you that. You have to go that extra mile in order to find those spiritual truths. And then what the Hermit is going within to find, Pisces, is actually the Magician. It's here in reverse. And you haven't really mastered your manifestation power. You haven't really mastered your ability to create. You haven't really mastered what your resources are. You know, the Magician has everything he needs on this table. You haven't mastered that. That's why you've been pulling resources from other people or giving your resources away. Either way, you don't understand what you had. And so that's why you know you're needing to go within to discover self more deeply. And once you've done that, once you've emerged with the understanding of your Magician energy, once you've emerged as who you are, understanding what you want to create, understanding what resources you have within yourself, whether that's your spiritual gifts, whether that's your practical gifts in the world, whether that's your finances, whether that's people that are willing to walk this path with you, you've got the 3. In terms of your advice, you've already got 4 major arcana. So I just said to you it was a critical moment. And here you are. For those of you who don't know what major arcana are, they speak to more pronounced, bigger themes. Like they speak to the significance of things in your life. The minors are the day-to-day stuff. The major arcana are the bigger energies. And you've got 4 major arcana advice cards reminding you that this is a critical moment. And once you show up as the Magician, understanding who you are, you can create. The Empress is the fertile energy. She's the visionary. She can birth something into the world. She can bring it from ideas and spiritual energy into material. In the same way that women who have children take the concept, you know, the potential of human energy, nurse it or nurture it internally and push it out into the world. You can do that. That's the path, that's the journey you're on right now, Pisces. And your last advice card is the Ace of Wands, which is dig deep, find your internal power, find your passions, find your gifts, your skills, your ability, find your spiritual self as well. It's interesting because I always say the Ace of Wands is a phallus here. For those of you who don't know what I mean by phallus, a penis. The Empress is the fertile energy. In order for you to show up and be able to create this baby, Spirit's like you need to find your phallus. You need to find the seed planter. And that's why the Hermit's here. It's a whole journey. You know, Pisces, your reading's been a little bit abstract. So I hope that you've been able to hang to understand what I'm saying. Look, if it's really gone over your head, firstly, watch it again. Secondly, you can come and see me and we can, you know, break these energies down and really see how they're playing out for you on an individual level. It's NicoleBlack.com/services. Thank you for watching, my lovelies. Please do follow me on Instagram, Nicole Black. Please like, share and subscribe. Comment if you'd like to talk to me about the reading and I will see you in July. Mwah. Love you, Pisces.